I don't know whether you've ever made a promise, and then after you've made it, you've realized that is going to be really hard to keep. And very often when that happens, you think, I'm going to start making excuses right now. I'm going to get out of that promise. You know, I realize I've made a mistake. And I look back into the Old Testament and I see someone who I think made a promise that must have been incredibly hard to keep. I'm talking about Hannah. She was in the presence of God weeping for a child. And then she says that if God gives me a child, I'll give him back to the Lord. And that must have been such a hard promise to keep. You know, I wouldn't have wanted to have had to follow up on such a promise. It's great if you see it sort of in spiritual terms, because I've given each of my children to the Lord. But I sense that she knew that it was going to take more than that. And it was no easy thing to do, because it meant taking him back to where she'd been, putting him into the care of Eli, an elderly man who hadn't done a great job with his own sons. And yet she managed to do it because she'd promised. And I know it sounds rash, and I'd almost want to say, you shouldn't have done it, Hannah, but then I can see the way that God worked. And in fact, her son Samuel became absolutely one of the key people that God used in the unfolding of his history. How did she do it? Well, she actually tells us. When she gives him back, she prays a prayer, and it's recorded in 1 Samuel chapter 2. And it says this in the second verse: there is no one holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. And she was holding on to the fact that really she wasn't giving her son to Eli or to his sons or to Eli's daughters-in-law. She was giving her son to the Lord. And she had this utter confidence in God's ability to keep and transform. I still find it hard, but I can say to you confidently, I know that there's no one holy like the Lord. I know that there's no one who could stand alongside him. And I know that there is no rock like our God. If you've made a promise and you're thinking it's hard to keep, what you probably need to do is to just go back and talk to the Lord as Hannah did, and to just see the consistency there is in God. Now, if you've made a rash promise that you need to repent of, then do that. But if you've made a promise that you know you need to fulfill, do it depending on the rock-like character of our God.